This is Dan Mulrooney, head football coach at Anna Maria College. We're announcing our 2020 incoming class of new AMCATs. We're fired up to see the new class and what they're going to give us, for the future. We're going to go through by position how they're going to help our program in the future. Starting off on the offensive side with the quarterbacks, we brought in a great group of young men who, first off, are great leaders. I think when you're recruiting a quarterback, you want to make sure they have the ability to lead, and we've got that with our group we brought in. Talent-wise, playmaking ability, we checked off all the boxes there, and that's something that we were really focused on as a staff offensively to bring in was a great group of young men who love to lead and also love to compete. The running back position is next, and really what we wanted to focus on as a staff was speed and dynamic playmaking ability when they have the football. We brought in the best, I think, class of speed that we've had here in the history that we've been here. So the speed is something that sometimes you can't really teach, and that's something that was a focus. We're excited about what they're going to give us in terms of the offensive playmaking ability and how dynamic they are. The wide receiver group is next, and we're excited to announce them. They bring in a good blend of size, speed, and talent that's going to really help us make those plays in situations that we need them to. We have a lot of different players that come in, all shapes and sizes, and we're excited to get them on the field, not only to catch the football, but also to do dynamic things once they have it. The group we have coming in is great character kids, and they're also from great high school programs that were dynamic players within themselves. So we're excited to have them, and we're fired up about it. Next up is the offensive line. The game in the trenches is a important aspect for our program. It's something we've been lacking for a few years here as we restarted the program. I think the first thing that comes to mind is obviously depth and having enough big guys to maintain a whole season. The next thing that happens is how tough and hard-nosed these players are to make those big holes for their running game and also to protect the quarterback. We brought in a great class of young men who are hard-nosed and gritty up front, and we know how important those young men are, and we've done a great job as a staff bringing up the best possible line in terms of size, talent, and determination that we could. We're fired up, we're excited, and that's great. The defensive line is next, and like I said about the offensive line, defense is no different. The game's won up front in the trenches. You want to have a hard-nosed group of young men that are determined to not only get after the quarterback, but plug their gaps, and use the right technique. And the group that we brought in are from great high school programs that were stars in their teams, and I think that's going to translate to what we do on the defensive side really well. We have a good defense here, and we just became a better defense by adding this group. The linebackers here that we're going to introduce are, I think, pretty special. Our defense is a 3-4 defense, so we use 4 different linebackers on the field at once. Their abilities have to be different, and there's an interesting recruiting aspect to that. We brought in players that could really run. Sideline to sideline speed is something that's really important in our defense. And at the outside linebacker position and the inside linebacker position, also guys that can plug gaps and that can make all the right calls and all the right play calls. So they have to be smart and have a good football IQ. We really believe we got players from great programs that will give us a benefit and advantage at that position on our defense. Talking to defensive backs, a position that I coach, and I'm really excited about the group we have coming in. They bring a great blend of size and speed and football IQ together. They're from great programs, which will help, and they have a lot of playing experience, which is also something that we need. The game, when the ball goes up in the air in the back end, we need to make sure we have the ability, talent-wise, to be able to come down with those balls and make those balls go incomplete. And I think we have that. We had a lot of size and depth at that position as well. We had a good year last year, defensive back-wise, in terms of turnovers, in terms of making some plays in the back end. And we're really excited to add this group in, to even make us better, at that position and those positions in the back end. Talking about the specialist group, something we've been lacking the last few years in terms of kickers and punters, and we brought in 4 or 5 of those young men who really bring a different weapon to Anna Maria football than you're used to seeing on Saturdays at Caparso Field. So we're excited to have those kids in and give us a different weapon to be able to take advantage of some of those critical situations, whether it's field goals, kickoffs, extra points, and add some consistency to some of those critical moments. And the kids that we brought in are talented. They're talented individuals that will come in right away and create a different benefit to our football program moving forward. So recapping the 2020 class of new AMCATs, we did such a great job. And I'm so proud to work with our coaches, our admissions department, our athletic department, everyone who's helped attract these young men to our school. When these young men visit our campus and they meet our coaches, they meet our admissions department, they meet our athletic department members, it's genuine. And, you know, from the outside looking in, there's a lot of sizzle and flash and things like that. But when they come onto the campus, they figure out that we are some great people that are going to really make them into the best version of themselves. And that's the goal. And that's the goal as us as coaches. Our goal is to win, but our purpose is to make them into great young men. And I think they noticed that right away. And, you know, they made the decision to come to school here to get an education and also be around great people who are going to challenge them. So, like I said, I'm really excited about this class. They bring in a great mix of talent, great people, great families. And I just want to thank all the families and all the players and everyone on our campus for just buying into what we're doing as a football program, you know, all together. Now to officially introduce the new 2020 signing class, ring the bell, go AMCATs.